and good to have you with us in this edition of the Urban Debate. Tomorrow is the second phase of polling. Two states, Assam and West Bengal, will see polling in parts of these states. For Bengal, it's an 8-phase election, but tomorrow is extremely important for one simple reason. Nandigram sees voting tomorrow. Nandigram, the fierce battleground between Mamata Banerjee and now her challenger, the former aide, Suvendu Adhikari. Now, it's going to be a very fierce battle. It's been a heated campaign leading up to tomorrow and a series of controversies. For example, the latest one, just a day, on the day that campaigning ended yesterday, Mamata Banerjee raked up and played the Gotra card. So after the Chandi parts and rallies and the temple visits during the campaign, this time she said that a priest at a temple asked me my Gotra. I replied, Ma Mati Manush is my Gotra, though my Gotra is Shandilya. So while she wanted to give the picture that for her this doesn't really matter, it's the land and the people, but she also did mention her Gotra. And that has now triggered the second part of the controversy, where the BJP is saying, well, we know Mamata is scared of losing polls. In fact, Giriraj Singh of the BJP turned around and said, well, our refugees and infiltrators also Shandilyas, clearly taking a jibe at the fact that Mamata Banerjee backs the illegal immigrants, the infiltrators, as BJP calls them, from Bangladesh. On the other side, you had AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi, who condemned these comments and also said that this is setting a wrong precedence, where every political party seems to be playing to the Hindu sentiment gallery. What about those, he asked, who don't chant any mantras or don't have any gotra? So tonight we're going to talk about just how important is the religion and the caste card in these elections in West Bengal, something that wasn't inherent, wasn't a main factor in West Bengal, say 10 years ago, but has increasingly become so. For example, in Nandigram itself, 30% of the voters are Muslims, 70% are Hindus. And so Mamata Banerjee, in an attempt to ensure that she wins, is also reaching out to the Hindu majority vote bank, countering the entire BJP Hindutva campaign, taking them on that. So her outreach is obviously aimed at first countering BJP's impact and second, to negate any impact of her past appeasement policies. So where in the past you would have seen her covering her head the way Muslims would do or appeasing to the Muslims community, this time around she is visiting more temples. Is that going to have an impact on the election results? And will religion really overshadow this entire election in Bengal, the entire development poll blank in Bengal, simply because one party doesn't have much to show for development and the other is taking her on that? Let's say good evening to the panelists who are joining us. Sudesh Verma, spokesperson for the BJP, Suparna Moitra, spokesperson for TMC, Professor Dinesh Varshney, leader of the CPI, Snigdhendu Bhattacharya, journalist and author, joining us this evening, and Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam, advocate with the Supreme Court, also with us this evening. But let me first go across to Mr. Dinesh Varshney. Mr. Dinesh Varshney, Bengal politics were not so much about religion and caste a decade or more ago. But do you now see that being a very clear factor?
Yes, Tanvi, this is a fact that BJP and TMC both are involved in using the religion or caste or regional affinities, all these divisive practices, all these divisive slogans in the West Bengal. Whereas in the last 35 years when the left ruled, these things were abundant. Nobody used to talk to them. Though BJP, and why BJP and TMC both are doing this, there is a reason for that. The BJP is failed all over India. The unemployment is highest. The economy is minus 29.7, maybe more than now. Almost all schemes has no social auditing. Their schemes have failed. Farmers are crying. Students are crying. Youth are crying. Teachers are crying. Every section of the society is crying. Same with the TMC. If TMC was that much of confident in Nandigram that they have done a development against the left, Mamata Banerjee raised the bogey of the anti-farmers and this thing. Now, why she is using the Gotra or clan system and other things into this election campaign if she has done some development there? So matter is clear. Both of them their vessels were empty. They have done nothing for the people of Bengal or the people of country both. Nadda Sahab says to Bengal, 5 lakh will be given job. Assam, 8 lakh will be given job. You have taken away the jobs of millions people of the India since the demonetization. You are not giving the jobs. Almost all government jobs are abundant, have been given to the contractual jobs. The permanent jobs are over, from teaching to chaprasi, from professor to chaprasi. This is going on. And this is a worst type of World Bank and IMF policy the government of India has followed. Their vessels are, किनको कहते हैं ना, जिनके घड़े खाली हैं, वो जब मौका आता है तो उसमें पत्थर डाल के बजा के दिखाते हैं जनता को.
Well, so Professor Varshney, before I take it to the other side, I mean, even if we are to believe what you are saying, even if we say, okay, for BJP, that is what it is, why is Mamata Banerjee doing this? Why is Mamata Banerjee playing to that gallery rather than talking about other issues in Bengal?
Because she has done nothing, neither in the Nandigram or all over Bengal. What left have done? The left party's biggest gain was the feudal relations of land has been abolished. The primary education has been uplifted. The common people were, social harmony was built. That is the biggest achievement to which BJP and TMC both are disturbing. And they will be, if they are destroying the nation, TMC is destroying the Bengal, communal harmony will be disturbed, and Bengal, which is very progressive in social harmony, in communal harmony, will be disturbed, and this will create a problem. BJP policy is to invoke the religious politics.
Okay, let me bring in the other panelists. Professor Varshney sets the tone for this conversation. Professor Varshney sets the tone for this conversation. First up to the TMC, Mr. Suparna Moitra, you must admit tonight that because you don't have much to talk about development, you're having to talk about your temple visits, you're having to talk about your Gotra, you're having to talk about, every other Hindu-related practice rather than development.
Ms. Shukla, good evening. Is it a statement you are making or a question you are asking?
Will you admit tonight?
No, I'm asking you that are you making a statement or are you asking me a question?
I'm asking you, will you admit this?
I feel two lawyers are there in the panel, so I thought I'll ask you that whether you're making a statement or a question. If you are making a statement, then I think it's almost a fait accompli for us in this particular program. I need not answer that. But if you are asking me a question, that gives me an opportunity to respond to your question. One. Second, we have run this government for the last 10 years. We released a report card and we took the report card to the people. Whether the report card is going to be accepted by the people or not, we leave it to the people to decide. So we can't say that they will accept our report card, but we'll have to take the report card to the people. We are taking it to the people. Having said that, we have done a lot with regard to the empowerment programs for women. We have worked on the infrastructure, and we have also done a lot to re-establish the lost connect with the industry as far as the imaging is done for the 34 years of left rule. So these are the broad parameters that we have done in the last 10 years. The development, particularly development and growth, are not synonymous terms. So on the growth per se also, the GSDP has done 1.1% more than the national average. But yes, there's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done, and we have a lot of explaining to be doing, because since we have been in the government for the last 10 years, we have a lot of explaining to be doing. That we are going to do, and we leave it to the people to decide that. But having said that, so the Bharatiya Janata Party, they have absolutely nothing to show. And if you talk about the promises which they made in 2014, in 2019, they have forgotten the promises they have made. They have said that they will double the income of the farmers by 2022. They will create they will give and provide employment to 2 crore people every year. They also said that the quantum of black money that will be received, and they give an idea of a romantic and an esoteric idea. I think Sudesh Vermaji is a very good student of English literature, so he will be on my side on that when I say that. So a great romantic and esoteric expression by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, so I will go to him for a response in just a bit, Mr. Moitra. Although right now, if you say black money and jobs, they made those promises in 2014. You say they didn't deliver. They still came back with stronger numbers in 2019. Right now, people are judging parties for what they delivered in the state and what BJP can promise to bring in the state. 1 minute, please. Allow me this. Allow me this.
Can I just give me 10 seconds, please?
Okay.
Can you give me 10 seconds with your permission?
Yeah.
Right. Now, this is a moot point, I think, which we need to answer, that after having failed, they are again back in government. That means the issues are not lost. So suppose if we come back to power again in 2021, do you mean to say the issues that people are raising will get lost? Do you want that sort of an environment to prevail? Or do you want the issues to be addressed by all the political parties? This is the moot question I'm asking you.
I would want the issues to be addressed by all political parties, including in their campaigns. But tell me, if you're so confident of your development report card, what was the need for Mamata Banerjee to say, my Gotra is Chandilya?
I would only say that if I show extraordinary confidence by saying that we are going to win the election, we are going to insult the citizenry, which I would not like to do in my wildest of imaginations. One. Second, if you look at the context in which she mentioned, because she said that she had visited a temple, when a priest had asked that, what is your Gotra? She was silent about it and spoke about Mamati Manush, but the priest was insistent that to know about the Gotra to offer the prayers, and she did it. Now, whatever explanation I might offer in this program, there will be 20 counterpoints to this. And if the opposition also says something, there will be 20 counterpoints to that also. But the truth will always be there with the people who would believe in what she did.
Okay, Sudesh Verma, your response to that. And Sudesh Verma, who was so far able to hear both sides, his feet froze there. His feet has frozen now just when it was his turn to give an answer. Are we able to hear it? Okay, we're going to fix that connection. But let me very quickly bring in a view from Snigdhendu, who's also joining us right now. Snigdhendu, this is a new setup, relatively new setup. Historically, have we seen these kind of communal and caste overtones in the campaign season in Bengal?
No, not never. I mean, ahead of the 2019 Lok Sabha elections too, we had witnessed a communal pitch in the campaigns, but the extent which we can see right now is unprecedented. And let me also, talk about Mamata Banerjee revealing her Gotra. And this is coming just, I think, 2 weeks after saying that she is a Brahmin girl. Now, if you look at the context in Nandigram, you will see Shubhendu Adhikari has been trying to polarize Nandigram on communal lines and has taken to communal propaganda entirely banking on communal propaganda. He has been terming all those Muslims living in Nandigram as Pakistanis. He is saying that those who burst crackers and celebrate Pakistan's victory are TMC supporters in Nandigram. Now, even a few years ago, these were Shubhendu Adhikari's voters. And in 2016 assembly election, in 2014 Lok Sabha election, or wherever after that, Abu Taher and Sheikh Sufyan, they too had been Shubhendu Adhikari's right hand and left hand men in Nandigram. Now all of a sudden, after he has switched over to BJP, Taher and Sufyan and all other Muslim leaders of Nandigram have become Pakistani. and Shubhendu Adhikari is regularly referring to Mamata Banerjee as Begum. So this is a very volatile situation here in Nandigram, where Mamata Banerjee is also looks quite desperate to play her upper caste identity card, because in Nandigram, Muslims in Nandigram assembly segment, Muslims make about 26% of the population or of the voters. So 74% or nearly 3/4 of the population are Hindu. So when Hindu polarization and kind of Muslim demonization is going on in Nandigram at such unprecedented level, I see Mamata Banerjee playing hard Gotra card is only a response. And maybe she could have avoided, maybe she could have, it may be argued that she is leading herself to BJP's trap. I am not going into the arguments whether it is right or wrong, whether she should have still upheld a secular pitch, but she was actually trying to elaborate a secular pitch, saying that she mentioned her Gotra as Mahamati Manush, while referring to these Shubhendu's Barb and etc.
Okay, yeah, fair
But
enough. But
again,
I feel,
she is not-
Snigdhendu, while you are large, what you're saying is absolutely correct. I also feel that's just a smart way of putting it. It gives you an opportunity to defend yourself, saying, oh, I was talking about Mahamati, Manush, but very smartly, as slided it in that it's also Shandilya. That's my Gotra, that I went to the temple and the priest asked me, and this is the conversation. Absolutely, it wasn't really required. It's not as if everybody there was only hounding her to tell us about that detailed conversation she may have had with the priest, but she did. Perhaps a sign that she doesn't want to leave any stone unturned. It's obviously a very, very important battle and perhaps a very close battle in Nandigram and rest of West Bengal. Sudesh Verma is back with us. I am hoping he can hear me. Go ahead, Sudesh.
Yeah, I hope you are able to hear me.
Yes.
Can you confirm? Yeah. I was finding it interesting, Mr. Moitra's comments, the kind of research, Mr. Moitra, you have done about me. If you had done the same kind of research about your people and their need, then probably you would not have needed to answer the issues we are raising, because the issue is non-delivery or good governance. That is the issue in West Bengal. The kind of, slogans you may raise, the kind of diversion of issues you may try, but we would not allow you to succeed there, because we are very focused on the core issue, which is underdevelopment and the failure of Trinamool Congress in the last 10 years. You did well by dethroning the left, but you did not deliver governance. You brought chaos. And coming to Mr. Vasudevan's statement, I found it really amusing, Tanvi, that you see, you are still talking about Mr. Modi. Are you contesting 2019 Lok Sabha elections? You can talk about demonetization, you can talk about GST and all those issues, when the time comes for Lok Sabha elections. Kindly focus on Mamata Didi and her performance or non-performance. That is how the government should run in the eyes of people, isn't it? People have got a chance to debate whether delivery has actually happened. You were quoting statistics, Mr. Moitra, but for the failure of the state to provide employment to people, you have to hold yourself accountable. You can't just go on reading statistics saying that everything is hunky and dory. Still, you are finding a lot of unemployed youths in the state. Why drinking water has not reached the remote villages? Why the roads are not good? Why health system is not good? You have to answer for all those, and that is what we are promising, and that is why we are talking of development. I heard honorable journalists talking about polarization. We are not there to polarize. We are talking about development. We know that Muslims as well as Hindus, they all need development. Why should we try to bracket people in terms of Hindus and Muslims, Sandilya or non-Sandilya? How does it make a difference? You have to provide basic amenities to people. That is why the government is for.
Okay, fair enough, Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam. Thank you for patiently waiting. What about the other political parties? Comments that were made, for example, today by Asaduddin Owaisi, when he says, what about us, the non-Janeudaris, those who don't chant these mantras? Where is the space for us in this setup then?
Well, that is for the Owaisi to answer, Tanvi. If they don't have a space, then they are out of this election. They've got to make their own space. You can't be saying, where is the space? This is a competitive politics. And secondly, I remember Rahul Gandhi remembering his Gotra and wearing Janeu very desperate measures, and this also appears to be some kind of a desperate measure, the last minute desperate measure before the closing of the campaigning in the second phase. And Nandigram is proven to be a thorn in the entire campaign of Mamata Banerjee. Now, if the indication after the polling is, which will not be there immediately, but parties would know which way the wave has gone. And then you would know how the entire behavior in subsequent phases would be very clear from her side. And at the same time, Mamata Banerjee has always been using in this particular election that I am a Banerjee, I am a Hindu, I am a Brahmin, Beti, and things like that. So trend was always there, and she, cupped it up with this latest Shandilya Gotra. The Gotra in Sanatan Dharma is used for matchmaking or during the pujas. So please remember that, nothing more, nothing less. And to go to such desperate extreme measures shows that the grounds have shifted in Nandigram and especially in the second phase itself.
But that would also say that it's shifted, Mr. Nigam, because of the BJP, because this is BJP's plank and BJP's strategy, which is why others are having to shift to this. So it's not as if any party wants to talk about development.
No, I think development everybody's talking about, but this is, icing on the cake people are trying to use. And let me tell you, BJP has never left Hindutva or used Hindutva. It was always one of the core philosophies, and they have never digressed from there. However, on the other side, it is the appeasement. If somebody replies to that appeasement in the same manner, then one calls, polarization. So now Mamata Banerjee has the effective answering from the BJP. So right on the ground, if you see Suvendu Adhikari, if he wins, then please imagine what will be the political career of Mamata Banerjee.
What will be the political career? I think that's a question on everybody's minds, and perhaps the answer to that we will only know after May 2nd. So far, not too many experts out there are willing to stick the neck out and tell us which way the wind is blowing in Nandigram. But let me, take it a step forward and go back to Snigdhendu on that. Snigdhendu, let's take Nandigram as an example. It's 30% Muslim population. In any other situation in the past, we would have seen, posters like we have in the past where you see Mamata Banerjee kind of wearing a hijab or offering namaz and trying to appease that community. Is she now playing a gamble that if she goes overboard appeasing the Hindus, she stands to lose the 30% vote as well?
No, I don't see a possibility of that. See, Mamata Banerjee has been trying to portray her Hindu face for more than a year now, and even more. If you look at the way she responded since the 2017 Ram Navami celebration of the Sangh Parivar in West Bengal, which first brought to the fore the increasing influence of the Sangh Parivar in the state. So since 2017, TMC has not been able to find a suitable way to answer this Hindutva. In 2018, TMC competed with BJP in celebrating Ram Navami and Hanuman Jayanti. In many parts of the rural Bengal, we have seen a surge of building Hanuman temples. Initially, these were initiated by BJP leaders and leaders of the Sangh Parivar, the Bajrang Dal, the Hindu Jagaran Manch, the Hindu Yuva Bahini. But then TMC also entered the fray. And in various rural pockets, TMC leaders have also initiated founding Hanuman temples. So this game of showing the TMC's pro-Hindu nature is going on since 2018, 2019. It is taking different shapes and different times. In September last year, Mamata Banerjee even announced a monthly stipend for Brahmins and for the poor of them a housing scheme. Now, if you look at the actual issue that created this polarization, that triggered this polarization, was Mamata Banerjee's decision to give a stipend to imams and their helpers, the muezzins, way back in 2011, 12, 13. But that fund, that stipend came from the Waqf board, not the state government, though Mamata Banerjee sought credit for it. But now, this promised stipend for the Hindu priests, the Brahmins, this will be coming from the government exchequer if the Mamata Banerjee returns to power and implements it. So she has been trying to show our Hindu face over the past 1 year to counter the BJP's Hindu polarization or Hindu consolidation, which has definitely resonated with quite a large section of Bengali people, especially in the rural Bengal.
Professor Varshney, would you agree it is resonating with the people of Bengal? And if so, where does that leave your party?
Look, Tanvi, frankly speaking, many of the points I agree with this Dindu. Reason being, he is rationally talking one thing. When Hanuman temple came into the ruler side by the BJP, TMC also jumped into the fray, but not the left. Because left do not wanted to use the religion, which is a personal matter, into the matters of the politics, because politics governs the nation. Unfortunately, BJP and TMC, both of them are using religion to bring to the politics, so they run the politics through religion and do not talk of development and the development and welfare of the people. As far as just see what Mr. Suresh Verma said, Suresh Verma ji said, Arey Baba, don't talk of 2019 issues. Arey Baba, your demonetization has affected the MSMEs and the jobs of the entire country. And Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Assam are the part of India. Their people are affected. Even today, because of the economic downfall to minus 20.9.3 has caused the millions and millions of jobs. It is affecting the people of India everywhere, even in Bengal. What are you talking? Are you you can't be a hypocrite. You can't be I see this situation in isolation. Economy and society can't be seen in isolation. Which philosophy school has taught you this thing? Which school of economic thoughts has taught you this thing? To see economy separately than the society. Both are interrelated. And as far as appeasement policy is concerned, with Deshnagran Nigam Sahab was saying, appeasement, what is appeasement? Appeasement of the minority is also appeasement. And when appeasement of minority is done by the BJP and RSS throughout the country, it is the duty
but Professor
of the minority.
Varshney, appeasement of the minorities is what the secular parties have been doing all this while as well. So then is it appeasement or is it secularism?
No, Tanvi. When majority appeasement is done throughout the world, it is the duty of the majority community and the government to see to it that the minority feels safe. We are against all brands of communalism. We have a fight with the SIMI, we have a fight with the RSS. That is why when Modi ji and Amit Shah ji attack on farmers movement, on any movement, their first target is communist. Their first target is not TMC. Their first target is not any other regional party. Their target is communist, because we are ideologically taking them. We are attacking them on economics. We are attacking them on social ground. We are attacking them philosophically. We are attacking them on anthropologically, sociologically, and they are afraid of that. That is, the TMC has fallen into the trap. I'm very sorry. TMC Dada was saying, Professor Saab was saying, he should know that if your vessels are full of water in development, why are you raising the matter of clan? Clan has been abundant in society in the 7th, 8th century AD.
Okay, fair enough. Now both parties will have to respond first to the BJP.
Who is afraid of Mr. Varshney and his party, tell me? It has got limited to Kerala now. They have been thrown out of Tripura also. West Bengal, they have been thrown out long time back. And
even then, Modi ji referred 5 times during Kisan movement, communist.
Mr. Varshney, let me tell you, I know a lot about left, so I can put certain embarrassing facts before you. You know that Karl Marx spoke about communism.
What Modi ji talked in Bihar during Bihar election? What Modi ji talked in Bihar election? What Amit Shah talked in Bihar elections?
You have only leaders without
followers. Baba, you are nowhere in Bengal.
You said
the government will be formed either by the left or Sahit Morcha or DTMC, not by you.
Listen to
Until and unless you manipulate the EVM.
and you need to answer me when I ask you. You see, you said that you don't interfere, religion is a personal sphere, isn't it? You said it, isn't it? Religion is a personal matter. Then do you speak against Ajahn being blared out from loudspeakers? Or when people come on the street to perform namaz, is it personal or public? Tell me that.
Even the
Have you
temples
ever spoken
nowadays use
against that?
loudspeaker
All
during
across
aarti.
the world, not only in
Even the
India.
temples
The
use
leftists, communists
even
have
the
aligned
it
with
should
the
be
communists,
uniform policy.
and that is the biggest
All religious
challenge.
institutions,
The whole
either the
nation
my
faces.
horn should
The
be
whole
banned
world
or
faces.
should be allowed to on.
Communists, any part of the world
This is
have
the
aligned with the
problem.
communists.
You are
And that
taking
is the
again a
problem.
communal
That is
angle.
what you have done
Arey
in
Baba,
Kerala,
even
that is what
aarti
you
is
have
done
been
in the
doing
temple
West
through the
Bengal.
horns,
It's still Delhi.
through the
That is what you have
loudspeaker.
done.
Even
Whether
aarti
you
is done
are
in the temple with the
respected the most
loudspeaker.
which is
I
JNU.
challenge you.
Okay, okay.
Is it with
Professor
the
Varshney, let him,
Almost
Professor
all
Varshney,
the
let him
most
finish. Let him
federal
finish, please. Professor Varshney, let him finish, please. I'll come back to you for a response.
So
Yeah.
my question is, do you speak against Tanvi, such public display of faith, because you are saying that it's a personal matter. You don't interfere because of that. So do you champion this public display of the personal matter? Tell me that.
Well,
You're a big communist. Please answer.
from the
I'll
ideology
answer.
basis,
I'll
the left,
answer.
the left
I'll
ideology is largely supposed to be a
You can't
non-believer.
speak a
They
word,
can't
man.
really be
You can't
taking
speak
open
a
stands
word.
or playing religious politics, can they now? Yes, Professor Varshney.
Look, Tanvi, I'm asking, when Modi ji or Advani ji went to
How
the
would you
Bapu
come here?
Asaram,
I
what
asked
was
you
that?
Specifically answer.
When
my
the
two
BJP
queries.
leader went to
two
Baba Ram
queries, have you
Rahim, what was
answered?
that? When you went to the Sri Ravi Shankar, what
That is
was
not the
that?
question,
When you
my
take the
dear.
shelter under
My
the
question,
benefit of
I
the
asked you
business
very
of the
specific
Ramdev,
question.
what was
You
that?
said it's a
What
personal
is
matter, you
this?
don't
Are you
interfere
not
with
using
the
the religion
personal
and Baba's
skills of the
politics
public?
into the
What is your
politics of the
reaction to that?
country
Do you
where
have
they are
guts
the
to
business
speak? Tell me
Babas?
that.
No, you are not ready to listen. Now you are not ready to listen.
I'm ready to listen.
I tell you, and
I'm trying to
Sudesh
measure
Verma,
you by
I challenge
your measuring
you.
rod,
Let us have
by
a
your
survey
standard.
of the temples
You
of the
set a
country.
standard for
Let us
yourself,
have
now
the
you
survey
answer.
of the mosque of
Isn't
the
it?
Okay, all right.
How many mosques have their loudspeakers
All right,
for
I
Adhan,
know
and
the
how many
topic
temples
of
have the
religion
loudspeaker
and
for
caste
Aarti?
always does
I'm
get
asking
people
you.
a little worked up, but let's calm down for a bit. And I want to, and I know Deshratan Nigam wants to make a point, but before that, Suparna Moitra must respond to what the left also raised. You too are equally to be blamed for the narrative that we are seeing today in elections.
I think, Professor, Mr. Bhattacharya had mentioned that now Hanuman temples are getting constructed by both by the day and by the night, and there's a community participation to be building those Hanuman temples, if I've understood Mr. Bhattacharya correctly. And Professor Varshney then mentioned that the Trinamool Congress and the BJP are no different in this. We have all come together to build Hanuman temples. I really don't have data with me to show that whether the Trinamool Congress is building Hanuman temples or not. But if people from the community would like to build places of religious worship of be it any religion, then the state will not come in the way because that's their personal right to follow the constitution and practice or build temples or mosques or churches as they would like to do. So as a responsible government, we will not get into the way. However, the policy of the government would be that it would be run in the way completely the way the preamble mentions, and we will run it like that. So that's where I would like to submit myself, Ms. Shukla.
But there's no point in making these promises to us and assurances to us in the TV studios. But when you go out, you have a completely different, promise to make to the people. That's where the difference lies. When you ask for votes to people on ground, then you want to play the religion card, the caste card. You want to set up. You want to make announcements specifically for either the minorities or the majorities, whoever you think is the flavor of the season.
No, Ms. Shukla, let me respond. I was sure because the moment I think there were, I was saying that there was a particular template which was running up and down on the TV screens, showing that sections of the boys and girls of a particular community has been gifted with bicycles and scholarships. Let me tell you, be it the Konyashree program, be it the Shobut Shati program, all those programs which have received acclaim from the United Nations, do you mean to say that those programs belong to a particular, the girl child of a particular community? No, madam. I think people, if that's the understanding, it's completely off target. Everybody is getting the thing. The only new inclusion, I will tell you, Ms. Shikla, what has happened, the girls were getting it in the rural areas in class 9. Recently, a very young boy, when Mamta Didi was on the campaign, she came across a young boy who very politely asked Didi that why is she being discriminatory towards the male student, and why the male student in class 9 cannot get the cycle in rural areas, which she has said that if I get back to power, I will also ensure that the male students also get that. So I think that's the only thing which has happened, Ms. Shukla.
Nigam wanted to make a point. Go ahead, please.
Tanvi, one thing is very clear.
Tanvi,
I think,
just 1 minute.
Mr. Varshney, you've had a lot of time. In fact, you've almost hijacked the debate. Please have patience.
Please, Nigam sir, please. Sorry, Nigam sir, please carry on.
Okay, Deshratan Nigam, yes.
So the fact remains that Lord Hanuman is known for removing fear from the hearts of people. And the fear that TMC created in the hearts of people through violence and other means, I think Hanuman Temple was the call of the day of the people out there. And secondly, nobody has to remind the leftists of the gold smuggling case where the chief ministers of Kerala's name is coming up. And thirdly, you don't require demonetization to make industries run away from West Bengal. You only need Mamta Banerjee and Nandigram and Tatas to be thrown out. Nobody wants to come there because they know what would be their fate. And therefore, the industrialists are very scared of, investing in that place. And there are other industries also which also probably closed because of the kind of, lopsided statements being made by the chief minister out there. In fact, the entire career of Mamta Banerjee, came into existence because of the Nandigram movement where Tatas were thrown out, who ultimately went to Gujarat. So ultimately, it is the chief minister who has got to take the blame or the credit, whichever way it is.
Yeah.
You can't be bringing in the national policies. National policies, you will have 2024, another chance. Go at it. You attack the central government. But let me tell you, UN report says after 2014, the highest number of people coming out of the abject poverty is in India. It's about 25 crore people have come out from 2014 onwards. From the abject poverty. This is United Nations report which is saying. So ultimately, this election is about West Bengal. The chief minister is accountable for it, and she's answerable for it. Whether it is appeasement, whether it is a stipend for imams, or whether it is manifestly declaring that I am a Chandil. All these is Bengal specific.
Okay, yes, absolutely. All this is Bengal specific because right now we're talking about who will be in power in Bengal next, not in center. Yes, Suparna Moitra, you wanted to respond.
Yes, I think Deshratan Nigamji was saying that why the industrialists there's been a flight of capital from Bengal. There's a history and it will need a separate debate. And I think everyone is aware of that. Professor Varshney would also participate in that. Primarily, there were two issues about the licensing and the freight equalization policy, but we'll get debated at a later date. One. Second, let me tell you, the land acquisition policy of the current government, our government, if we are voted back to power, we are not going to forcibly allow anybody to take away land from the farmers. It will have to be done through consultation, and our stated position is that we are not going to change that. We are sticking our neck out and we are doing that. We are not going to say that, okay, we are going to do that. We have created land banks in Gwalior and we are developing those dilapidated industrial estates which were left behind and the new ones that we have brought about. But we are not going to do that. Industry and Deshratan Nigamji is also aware that different sort of industries will take place. I being an economist will tell you will happen in different places. Large tracts of land cannot be offered for SEZ and other things in Bengal. We are not going to do that. That's going to be the thing. That's going to be the thing. And Deshratan Nigamji, he also is aware of the record. I think the record of the Bharatiya Janata Party for the last couple of years, 4 quick points I will make. One is, it is not with regard to COVID, 8 quarters prior to COVID also, and the GDP is at its newest low for the 20 years, which is almost at 7.7%. One. Second, the unemployment is at a 45-year high. Third, the new investment as a percentage of GDP is on a 20-year low of 24%. And in spite of the IBC resolutions and all those things, the latest fiscal stability report released by the Reserve Bank of India clearly states that the stress assets is going to double in September 2021. 4 quick stats. I think we can take it. Again, there'll be a lot of opportunities to discuss that, Ms. Shukla, in consecutive debates.
No, but okay, but of course, we can have separate debates on this as well. But right now, Suparna Moitra, you can justify and say that the policy that the left was bringing in for land acquisition was all wrong. But the core factor still remains. How many industries have you managed to bring in 10 years?
Yes,
How many jobs have you managed to create in 10 years? West Bengal migrants are still one of the largest set across the country.
I will give you the record. 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 And I think all qualified people in this panel, they're free to check the statement of the Union Minister of Labour in the Parliament when he has said that what is the overall record, then the labour force participation record, these things, and the record of all states and also Bengal. One. Second, we have never claimed that it is heaven in Bengal. But within the given framework, we know what we have done. The IT industry has really attracted people because the IT industry only this year has said that they're going to add 1.5 lakh people overall in the country, from going up from 60,000 last year. IT industry has done that. There are lot of service industries which have come up. You will have to look at the future of work and the current level of work, which is the very dynamic in nature, and the gig economy. But I'll have to agree with Dr. Varshney when he was saying that the demonetization and the hurried implementation of the goods and services tax. The hurried implementation of the goods and services tax, because the time frame, the difference was only 6 months. It has completely decimated the informal sector, which is 94% of the economy. And what has also happened, it is not only about the informal economy, but the white-collar jobs, not the blue-collar only. They're very difficult to fall, but they're even difficult to rise. What has happened is this particular government has ensured that the white-collar jobs has touched a new nadir, and which is going to be very difficult for them to rebound, Ms. Shukla.
Yes, Sudesh Sharma.
Tanvi, at times he's saying that everything is so good in West Bengal statistics.
Did I say that?
And then he's talking of problems. Mr. Moitra,
No, did I say
there
that?
are problems or there are achievements. You can't be telling it both.
No, Tanviji, Mr. Varma,
statistics in the rally. Not talk about Tanzania, not talk about
selective hearing by Sudesh Varma. Selective hearing loss.
Say that this is what I've done.
Selective
and
hearing
this is what I
loss.
intend to do. But these things we don't find. Only you come out with the statistics saying that everything is good. And he pointed out to you, Mr. Maitra,
no. Selective hearing loss by you, sir. Sudeshji, you're a fantastic lawyer, and you can turn the argument to your side, but the truth will remain the truth, sir. You can turn the truth, sir. The truth will no, sir. The truth will remain the truth, sir. No, the truth. And sir,
give account of achievement. He's not able to give. When we say why did you stop the IS stipend going to farmers? There is no argument. We say why did you stop the health schemes to rich people? No argument.
Okay, so let's take one example. Let's take one example, because obviously right now, Mr. Suparna Moitra, it's more about what has been done, and because the people are going to judge you on the work that you've done.
Yes.
So what work has been done in Nandigram since the land agitation, since you chased those companies outside?
Right you are, Ms. Shukla.
Okay, let him speak, please. Yes, Suparna Moitra.
Shukla, thank you. Sudeshji is much better because he's not so intolerant as his colleagues in the parliament. He's allowing me to speak. Thank you, Mr. Varmaji, for that. Now,
I'm asking why Mamta is not saying that.
I'm responding. I'm responding, sir. Sir, I'm responding to Ms. Shukla's question. You will get to hear the answer. One. Second thing, see, we have been in the government for the last 10 years, and it is but natural that the opposition are legitimately going to ask the questions, and we will have to answer. It's very, very legitimate on their part to do. But unfortunately for the Bharatiya Janata Party, they don't have a template at all, because I know that apples can't be compared with oranges and apples will have to be compared with apples only. So that's why, Dr. Varshney, when we are talking about India, because the only record they've got is about India, and we know what record they've got for the last 7 years. So we are going to the people with the record card. Mr. Verma,
So you are going to people with our
do
record,
that.
not with your record.
No, our
I'm
report card.
completely,
Our report card, sir.
I'm
No,
not
sir,
able to
our report
understand.
card. No, our report card.
But
Sir,
we don't hear that. You're only talking
you're
about
not hearing me,
You're
sir.
hopping
No,
hopping
sir,
temples and masjids.
Sir,
You're
please
not
allow
talking
me,
about
sir.
the core
Sir,
issues.
please allow me.
Only we are
Sir,
talking
please
about
allow me,
development.
sir.
We are trying
Sir,
to make
please
it an
allow me,
issue.
sir.
Okay, yes,
Sir,
yes. What is
please
the
allow me,
report card?
sir.
What
Sir,
is
please
the
allow me.
report card
Yeah.
for Nandigram?
So
Tell me, please, in 10 years.
So I will tell you, we have gone with the report card. It is not only about Nandigram. We have gone with the report card about Bengal to the people of Bengal, and Nandigram is a part of Bengal. We leave it to the people to decide whether they are happy with the way we have worked. One, but an overarching question is not only the development, but the dangerous trend of polarization and authoritarianism and the fascist
that is the issue.
fascist
The
manifestation,
report card is not your
which
issue.
possibly the BJP embodies, Ms. Shukla.
No, yes. Well,
This is a
I'm
combination
sorry.
of
You
both.
have to give up on that higher moral ground now. You could have said it. You could have said it a few years ago. But when your
We have been
party
doing it,
leader
Ms. Shukla.
says, "I am a Hindu Brahmin girl. I do Chandi Path before I step out of my house," you have lost all moral authority to only point fingers at the
You are
BJP.
temple hopping like
Let's
Rahul
just be
Gandhi.
realistic
Shukla.
about what's happening here. But
Ms. Shukla,
Snigdhendu, yes.
Ms. Shukla,
1 minute. Allow me to
Ms.
take
Shukla,
forward this
Ms.
development debate as well and talk about what has been done or hasn't been done. For example, in Nandigram, Snigdhendu, and I keep going back to it because it's one of the biggest constituencies. Tomorrow, it could also be the biggest deciding factor for this election. What has been done on ground? Most people say, yeah, we can see the Hindu-Muslim debate, but nothing in our lives has changed in the last 10 years.
No, this is not really right that life has not changed in Nandigram. Life has changed. This is not only true for Nandigram, but also for the neighboring areas of which we call Jangal Mahal, the forested belt, which was at one time Maoist dominated area. So the government has really done a lot of, tried to do a lot of good work there. I mean, implementing many of the policies, infusing some extra funds. The roadways have improved. The irrigation infrastructure has improved. There is a multi-super specialty hospital in Nandigram now. And the government, especially through the panchayats, have taken some serious roles in forming self-help groups with women. And this is one of the reasons Shubhendu Adhikari is also looks a bit nervous, because it seemed during our travels in Nandigram that women in general have a more sympathetic view towards Mamata Banerjee because the way her government tried to help women's empowerment in various small ways. Now, if coming to the talks of development and over the taking the whole of Bengal in our consideration, I would like to correct a few things.
We seem to have lost that line with Snigdhendu. We're going to try and fix that line as well so that he can finish the point that he was making. But some amount of work done is what Snigdhendu was saying, including a multi-specialty hospital that's been set up in Nandigram. Professor Varshney wanted to make a point. Go ahead, please.
Look, Tanvi, the problem with the TMC and BJP is that they wanted to show to the people of Bengal and to the people of the country that it is bipolar contest. It is not. It is a triangular contest. And everybody knows that this time the BJP is going to lose, they may lose even their seats. The problem is the BJP is manipulating through the government machinery, through the election commission. I am very sure the election commission will be honest enough to conduct the election in free and fair manner. As and when yesterday my left candidate Meenakshi was attacked in the Nandigram by the TMC goons, and other constituencies our candidates have been attacked. Why this is happening if you are not afraid of the left? Even the BJP is attacking our candidates. They are not. Why have they taken the? Why have they not allowing the election agents inside the booth? There is a problem. When corrupt meet the corrupt, they cannot defend each other. They will fight. They will show that there is a fight among these two corrupt. Everybody knows that BJP is corrupt, TMC is corrupt. Those tainted of the Sharda scam came to BJP. They have been dry cleaned. So they have been dry cleaned. So there is the BJP has opened a dry cleaning shop. BJP has opened a dry cleaning shop. Arey Baba, everybody know. OG Hariraj is your man. A person clearing agent is a BJP member. And the advocate of the Sapna Suresh is a BJP advocate. BJP advocate. And you deny their links. Everybody know. Everybody know that in gold leaks, cheap. Then why have you went to High Court? Why you went to High Court when the ED officers were challenged by the Kerala government?
You would not be
because there are certain facts that there is a statement on television. There is a statement, a recorded statement by the witness that you compelled her to speak in front of the chief minister. You are using your ED income tax as a tool of election. You are using your ED and income tax as a tool of election.
All right.
All
right. If I may just come in here, If I may just come in here, point taken from both sides. Snigdhendu is back with us. Go ahead. We lost you halfway through, and then to Desh Ratan Nigam.
Yes. So I wanted to correct Mr. Nigam on some issues. I mean, he was arguing that this is election about West Bengal government. And so the issues of the Narendra Modi government did not matter. So I would just like to refer that ahead of the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, Amit Shah in West Bengal sought votes not on the basis of the Modi government's work, but against TMC's Bengal government. Amit Shah categorically said, vote for Modi ji if you want to topple the state government. So that was their Lok Sabha election pitch. So we can clearly see that which election or whose election, it doesn't matter. Whether you have performed or not is the issue. And second question is that they're talking about Singur and Nandigram and what has happened there, and that Mamata Banerjee ruined Singur and Nandigram. I would just like to refer to some electoral statistics. The Nandigram incident happened in 2007, and initially the CPM supporters were thrown out of the area, but they reclaimed Nandigram through their armed forces. In December 2007. In the May 2008 election, Panchayat election, which was largely considered free and fair, the CPM was routed from the area. People voted so overwhelmingly in favor of Trinamool Congress in Nandigram that there was no scope for even an iota of doubt that the people in Nandigram did not want that petrochemical project. Coming to Singur, this project, Tata's the land was acquired in December 2006. Tata started the construction in 2007. And ahead of the Panchayat elections, just after the Panchayat elections, Mamata Banerjee saw Singur voting overwhelmingly in favor of TMC. And the CPM was routed out of Singur. So the Tata factory was nearly complete, and the cars were rolled out in 3-4 months. Yeah. Then Mamata Banerjee sat on a dharna in front of the Tata factory and forced the Tatas to move out.
Correct. And for all of that she did, Snigdhendu, you are right. She reaped the benefits of it and came to power, broke the stronghold in Nandigram for the left party and in the state, and came to power. But now 10 years later, I think people are also going to be judging her on what she did in those 10 years, and if the work that was done in Nandigram can be attributed and credited to her or to Suvendu Adhikari and the Adhikari family, which is now on the BJP side. That is what now we will have to wait and watch. Yes, Mr. Nigam, you wanted to make a point before I, wrap this up.
Tanvi, one thing is very clear. Somebody just said that it is a triangular contest. If it was a triangular contest, then I'm sure Mamata Banerjee would not have written it to Sonia Gandhi and asking all her help. and despite knowing that the left and Congress are in alliance and fighting against the TMC, and TMC's desperate measures are very clear. Left and the Congress have actually been left out. They are nowhere to be seen, even on the ground, and that's a fact. And in 10 years' time, they could not have a well-defined land acquisition policy so that the industrialists could come. Even the land which was could not be reclaimed or reconverted into agricultural land in Nandigram. Acres and acres of lands, is still lying wastage, and the farmers suffered because of it. And this is how a car which was being rolled out was they were thrown out. Imagine, the factory is ready, cars to be rolled out, and you throw out that factory from there. You don't need that kind of a leadership. You require a balance between industrialization and agriculture. And in fact, food processing industry, Bengal is very well suited for food processing industry, but still it's not there. So end of the day, I think Mamata Banerjee is answerable both in Nandigram and in West Bengal, and she has miserably failed. And these are desperate measures to remember your goat, to suddenly remember that you are a Hindu, and then you say you are a Brahmin girl, or you are a Mukherjee or a Banerjee. All those things clearly remind me of Rahul Gandhi, who started remembering his Janeu and Gotra also.
Yes,
so
well,
there is a lot of similarity there.
There is definitely a clear attempt to get onto that platform and make those noises that you believe will get you a larger chunk of the vote from the majority, and you won't lose it to the BJP. What is interesting is also, and I'm going to leave this thought for our viewers as well as I say thank you to the panelists, is Mamata Banerjee's letter dated 28th March to several opposition leaders, including Stalin and Sonia Gandhi, to say, we must ensure that we stop the BJP, and that the BJP, which is destroying our democracy, must be stopped. It is mocking the spirit of our democracy. Interestingly, it is the Congress in the Bengal that has been more vocal and targeting Mamata Banerjee than their ally, even the left. And pretty much on the same lines as they target the BJP. So despite these outreach attempts that Mamata has now made multiple times, the Congress has very clearly been attacking her in West Bengal. It all boils down to the people's decision, and a significant portion of them will be casting their vote. The fate of Mamata Banerjee as a candidate and of Suvendu Adhikari gets sealed tomorrow. We'll keep you posted on all of those updates. For now, thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.